Well, hey everybody, backyard scrapping here. I'm actually out back in the lab. I've tried to do a few things out here and I'm just getting too pooped out too fast. So what I'm going to actually do, I've got a bunch of these motherboards and some other boards scattered all out and about everywhere. I'm actually going to take a couple of these in at a time to my bench inside where I can sit down, and we're going to do some spot harvesting on these. I am actually going to, I have more of this stuff and connectors like this than I can probably do in a lifetime. So what I'm actually probably going to do is I'm going to spot harvest these boards. Then I'm going to look up, you know, what the board is worth, because copper's going up, and I mean about 10 of these motherboards I think is about a pound of copper, plus all the copper that's on them. So I'm going to look them up. I'm going to leave the pins because, like I said, I have more pins than Godzilla has teeth. In fact, Andrew, my buddy Andrew, just to show you, let me see if I can get this stuff out of the way, and then I got to go sit down. But anyhow, I just want to show you real quick so you don't think I'm BSing. But what I want to do is find out what, you know, like Board Sort or somebody pays for that stuff, and I'm actually going to make it available on my site, so that if people, you know, somebody wants to buy the stuff and finish it and finish off the harvest, they can. But this is more boards, and let's see if I can get this to stay open. But this is all as you can see, LED boards, connectors, mouse pads. This box is absolutely full of connectors and this kind of stuff. So like I said, you see how big this box is. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to have to sort through. I'm not going to, you know, I've been cutting these off, like cutting the boards, but I can't even do that right now. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, spot harvest these boards. I'm going to offer them with whatever I don't take off of them at the lowest grade board price. So if somebody wants them, I'll actually have them on the website. I'm not going to go through eBay because there's no point in paying eBay. I know I could sell them there, but there's no point in paying eBay and giving eBay money when I can give that money to you guys, or you know, less. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. I tried, as you can see, I'll show you when we get inside what I've been doing is trying to cut this stuff out, and it's just, you know, I don't have a big shear. All I have is nippers, you know, or cutters, like sheet metal cutters. And it's too much to cut these out. So I'm just going to offer the boards like they are after, you know, I do some spot harvesting. And they will be cheap. So anybody who wants pins, like I said, I've got more pins than I can pull in a lifetime. I'm done, you know, for now I'm not keeping any more pins. So let's get inside. I'll show you what I'm going to do, and we'll be right back at you. Okay guys, we're inside. I've got my stuff set up over here to do some harvesting. This right here is actually cut up boards with basically just MLCCs left on them. I don't harvest MLCCs anymore unless they're on a really, you know, if it's really old boards, because it takes, you know, I did several tests and I ended up with no palladium, but you know, some others did some tests on the magnetic MLCCs, and they ended up with, you know, tiny little bits of palladium, and they've got some silver on them. But once again, I have so much stuff to do that I don't need to fool with them. And I actually, you know, told somebody, I think I have to go back and look, but that it's in one of the comment sections on, I think, my MLCC video, that I would save these for them if they want to harvest them. You know, if they just pay the shipping on it. But this is what I was doing before. You see I've done several. I was just cutting off trying to do away with the waste board, but I'm either gonna have to find an easier way to do it, because I mean this just kills your hands using this stuff. Using these. It's just near impossible to cut all that stuff off. But I'm going to also offer that. So anyway, let me get the camera on the thing. We'll do a little bit of, here's a little board I'm going to start with to do some spot things on. And I've got some boards out there that I'm going to sell untouched. Because again, I don't even have the time to do the spot harvesting on them. What I've basically done is I'm going to take BGA chips, I'm going to take flat packs and ICs, and the rest of it's going to stay on the board. I know that doesn't leave much, but it's going to leave a lot of pins. I mean, and like I said, I have more pins than I can ever do. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, if anybody wants it, it'll be on the website. So let's do some spot harvesting. Alright guys, as you can see, I built myself this is a little hammer table I built to use. I am, on this little piece of a laptop board, I am going to take those, because I actually want to get several hundred grams of them. I've been working on it. I want to see, that's how many I've got off a laptop so far. But I want to see how much these yield, because this is probably one of the best pins on a laptop, but I don't want to just do 100 grams of them. I want to try and do quite a few of them, so I can get a good accurate idea of what they're going to yield. But anyway, so that's really, on laptop boards, that's probably all I'm going to keep. And if there's a BGA chip or something like that, probably I'll keep that. But these, most of the time, you can just wiggle them right loose. They come off fairly easy. And then pull them out of the, out of the plastic. But that's the only pins off a laptop I'm probably going to keep. On this one, I will probably take that crystal, that two-sided chip, and that BGA chip. I will take these. All of this is small gold plate. This is not really a good board to show you what I'm going to do, what I'm going to spot harvest, because this actually has some things on it that I want to do some tests on. Like these little tiny laptop connectors. The gold on those is very high quality. Again, let me show you. See, I'm keeping those. But pulling them is another story. So I want to get a jar full of those and do a test on those and see, how many, how much a pound of these little guys, without pulling the pins, how much they'll yield. So I'm going to go ahead and set this board aside for now. And we're just going to get a regular motherboard. And I may have to turn the volume down because I'm going to be hammering. Normally what I would do, or when I scrapped the motherboard before, I would just go ahead, I chisel all this stuff off, like most do. But like I said, once again, I've got more pins than I know what to do with. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the chips, because that's more what I process. This board has nothing on the back. So we're going to see what's under here. Probably one of those crappy, one of them crappy guys. So there is a little bit of scrap aluminum. And that's another thing. The only metal that's going to be left is metal that I can't easily remove. I am going to chisel these off, these big things, so that I can pack this stuff. These I'll sell in bags separately or whatever. But if this is on here, I can't put as many boards in a box. And I want to be able to pack a small flat rate box, not a small, but a medium flat rate box full. So, and then I'm just going to put a price on that box and it's mainly for the pins. There MLCCs, like I said, I'm not going to take. There may be a few other things left on the board other than that, but basically it's going to be what board sort would consider a low grade board. So anyhow, let's go ahead and see what we can get off of this one right quick. I'm going to get this BGA chip, because I actually like processing those, and they're worth the time and effort to process them. They can be a bugger to remove sometime, but once you get it started, it'll pretty much come off. Different chisel, need more of an angle. There we go. So we've got that. We're going to take these little guys right here, little two-sider, these little two-siders. Now this one's got some big MLCCs on it, but like I said, I'm not fooling with that anymore. So I mean, God bless you if you are good enough. And I don't mess with palladium that much. I probably should. It's a very valuable metal, but I'm afraid of it. And if you're afraid of something, it takes a little time to, decide whether or not you want to do it. That I don't want to get that platinum, whatever it's called, but I mean, you can get it from getting platinum group metal salts on you. So I have a tendency to stay away from that as much as possible. Naturally in dental stuff you're going to get some. I mean, some things it's just unavoidable. But as far as doing it, even for myself, I really don't even do that much of it for myself. There's a lot more precautions have to be taken. There's a lot more cleanup that has to be done. Because you're just, you're involving something that's a different metal. So I'm pulling these flats. I leave. I don't go after those because usually they take a long time to pop them off the board. So I don't take those. If it's a flat BGA that doesn't have, the little, like the flat packs, the four-sided flat packs, yeah, I'll go after those. So we're getting our little, basically just the little two-siders off. That's one of them. There's another little two-sider, which I'll do when I do that. Crystal, this has two crystals on it. So we'll take those. I also have a bag of LEDs. I want to save up a bag full of those, or get a pound of those. So I'm going to take that LED because I want to do a test on LEDs too. Alright, so basically, see, now this thing has got, that's actually a very nice gold-plated battery thing. But like I said, I'm not going to, I have too much of this stuff to fool with. There's some little flat gold top resistors here. I don't know if you can see that very well. Right there. They're staying. I am, like I said, I'm gonna knock these off just because I can put more boards in a box. I will also probably sell these, very reasonably. That's your 3.5 jacks. Those are usually gold inside. Gold-plated, gold-plated pins. But there's just too much to do, and I've got too much stuff. I have to start moving this stuff out. I'll try not to talk when I'm hammering. But I have buckets of those things. So, like I said, there's just no way I'm ever gonna be. I stay busy enough doing other people's stuff. So there's that. We'll turn this thing around. See if we can't attack this one from this side. There's that. There's that. And there is that. So this board, I am basically done with it. A lot of people don't realize, especially on these newer boards, got one more little two-sider here, but they don't realize on these newer boards, and you can tell this is a more modern board because it has this heavy metal goober where the processor actually goes, and these processors are usually the ones that are just, you know, they're just the little pads. They're not even, they don't even have legs anymore. There's more gold right there than in those processors. In fact, there's probably a lot more gold right here in these pins than there is in those processors, the flat pad processors. I mean, there's a dime's worth of gold in each one of those. So that stays. Basically, everything else is going to stay on this board. And like I said, I can pack a lot more boards in a box if I have to, even if I have to like break them in half or something to get them in there. But so all the MLCCs are on there. All the pins, the square pins, those, the card pins, the RAM pins, all that stays on the board. And like I said, I'm going to see what Board Sort sells them for, and that's what I will sell them for, or what they buy them for. And because you know, if they're paying X amount for a board, it has to have more gold and more precious metals on it than they're paying for it. You know, it's probably got to have at least, you know, at least a third or double what they're paying. So anyhow, I'm going to keep doing this. I'll get back to you periodically if I find something unusual. And we're just going to keep on scrapping for right now. Okay, guys, this was a whole regular motherboard. So what I did was I took off all the high stuff. I took off, you know, the chips that I wanted to take off. But all the pins, I don't know if you can see this, all the pins are left. Okay, I'm not fooling with those. So that's all on there. The MLCCs are on here. Actually, even these guys, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it not close up, but these little resistors, there's quite a bit of silver on those, in those, or on those. A lot of people don't even mess with those. But there's actually, it's this, they look like these, but the little ones right here. You can't, I know you can't really see it, but these little guys, there's quite a bit of silver in them. But it takes a gazillion of them to add up to anything, but still, I mean, if you're harvesting a board, you're harvesting a board. So that's basically a spot harvested board. I'm not going to fool with those. And like I said, the pins, if I started pulling pins right now, I would probably get done when my grandson was grown. Or my great-grandson is born. But anyway, so that's it. That's what I'm doing. I'll put, you know, some links and stuff so you can go check the stuff out if anybody's interested in it. I know a lot of people are having a hard time getting their hands on anything to scrap. And I'm not going to, you know, overprice this stuff. It's not going to be like, you know, that on eBay, you know, somebody probably lists this harvested like this for, you know, just this one board for $10 or $20 because they think there's so much in it. I mean, I go and I look at eBay just to see the ridiculous prices people are putting on things. And I mean, and it is absolutely friggin' ridiculous. This is going to be, you know, I'm going to price this stuff according to what it's basically worth. In other words, what I could sell it for to the scrap yard or whatever. I'm just giving, you know, I'm doing it this way so that anybody who's having a hard time getting anything to work on, or anything to fool with, you know, here's going to be a cheap opportunity to get your hands on something. You know, and another thing, I saw something on eBay the other day. I don't remember what it was. It was a couple of processors or something. They were priced like 10 times the amount of gold that's in them. And then on top of that, I looked down. You know, it was like 10, 11 processors. It was several $100s. And I looked down, it was $40 shipping. I mean, they're already burning people to death on what they're asking for the stuff. But then $40 shipping or $35 ship. Come on, people. Get real with your shipping. I mean, they're $8, about $15, and about $20 is the max anything should be. And that would be large, medium, and small flat rate boxes. Why are you putting stuff in a priority box, you know, and because it weighs 20 pounds or you're charging for the shipping? That's crazy. Your shipping should be no more than you get in that flat rate box, and it should be a flat rate box. But anyway, I'll go on a rant if I do that. Anyhow, there's still quite a bit of gold on here. It's harder stuff to get. You know, naturally I have taken the easy stuff, but I'm also the one that broke all these computers down. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. Like I said, I'll put some links up, and you can go check out if there's anything you want. You know, these boards, like I said, they all have, you know, the MLCCs, the resistors. There's silver content in those. Even the bad MLCCs, there's a little bit of silver in them. So all the copper, plus the copper in the board. All right, guys, everybody take care and stay safe out there, and we'll see you all in the next video.